बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सुदर्शना जय गौरांगी बेंगलूरीश्वर गौरांगी बेंगलूरीश्वर गौरांगी जय निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य निताय चैतन्य जय निताय चैतन्य जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदस्य श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदस्य श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। द्वारका धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत गौरभक्त वृंद की जय। गौरभक्त प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतः सेवया। भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। हरि ओम तत्सत्। So welcome devotees for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we have been asked to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, 19th chapter, 8th verse. So the 4th canto is called the creation of the 4th order. The 19th chapter is called King Prathus, is named King Prathus 100 horse sacrifices, and we will be discussing the 8th verse. So I will share the screen. Okay, now I think you can see the screen. I will read this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam 4:19-8. Uhu sarva rasan nadyaha kshira dhadi annago rasan taravo bhuri vashmanaha prashuyanta madhu chutaha. Word by word meaning. Uhu, bore. Sarva rasan, all kinds of tastes. Nadyaha, the rivers. Kshira, milk. Dadi, curd. Anna, different kinds of food. Go rasan, other milk products. Taravaha, trees. Buri, great. Vashmanaha, having bodies. Prashuyanta, bore fruit. Madhu chutaha, dropping honey. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The flowing rivers supplied all kinds of tastes, sweet, pungent, sour, etc. And very big trees supplied fruits and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter and similar other necessities. Purport. If rivers are not polluted and are allowed to flow in their own way, or sometimes allowed to flood the land will become very fertile and able to produce all kinds of vegetables, trees and plants. The word rasa means taste. Actually, all rasas are tastes within the earth, and as soon as seeds are sown in the ground, various trees sprout up to satisfy our different tastes. For instance, sugarcane provides its juice to satisfy our taste for sweetness, and oranges provide their juice to satisfy our taste for a mixture of the sour and the sweet. Similarly, there are pineapples and other fruits. At the same time, there are chilies to satisfy our taste for pungency. Although the earth's ground is the same, different tastes arise due to different kinds of seeds. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.10, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the original seed of all existence. Therefore, all arrangements are there, and as stated in Ishopanishad, Purnamidam, complete arrangement for the production of all the necessities of life are made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. People should therefore learn how to satisfy the Yajna Purusha, Lord Vishnu. Indeed, the living entity's prime business is to satisfy the Lord, because the living entity is part and parcel of the Lord. Thus, the whole system is so arranged that the living entity must do his duty as he is constitutionally made. Without doing so, all living entities must suffer. That is the law of nature. The word Taravo Buri Vashmanaha indicates very luxuriantly grown big-bodied trees. The purpose of these trees was to produce honey and varieties of fruits. In other words, the forest also has its purpose in supplying honey, fruits and flowers. Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, due to an absence of yajna, there are many big trees in the forest, but they do not supply sufficient fruits and honey. Thus, everything is dependent on the performance of yajna. The best way to perform yajna in this age is to spread the Sankirtana movement all over the world. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurgurmanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Sva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namavam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this verse, we'll just read the translation once more. The flowering rivers supplied all kinds of tastes, sweet, pungent, sour, etc. And very big trees supplied fruit and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter and similar other necessities. So this is in the background of Prithu Maharaja performing the horse sacrifice, the Ashwamedha Yajna. So we have seen in the last chapter that because Mother Earth, because the kings have become very materialistic, they have neglecting their responsibility of ruling the kingdom in a just manner, following the Varnashrama principles, following the system where the kings rule as a representative of the Lord and various yajnas and other things are performed. But people were simply engaged in sense gratification. So, and they were also troubling Mother Earth in so many different ways because of their exploitation of not only Earth but all the other living entities. So, including all the various animals and other jivas. So, that became a big grievance for Mother Earth, and she took away all the seeds and all the resources which are necessary for all living entities, particularly the humans, to live and all. And she hid them deep inside her, into the core of her earth. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj, seeing why is this happening like this, and he being the literally an empowered incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could not see all the jivas in such a state, including the humans who are, even though they are doing wrong things, but as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everyone and everything is actually his subjects in whatever way. So he wanted to chastise Mother Earth too, and said, you have no business to hide all these resources, you should release them. So he is actually chastising her, and then she says, okay, you please, this is why I did, and all that. Then the next chapter is where Prithu Maharaj is performing Ashwamedha Yajna. And while the Ashwamedha Yajna is being performed, Indra is very worried that he is doing these fruitive activities to overtake me to become the king, and he wants to take over my position. So this is Indra's anxiety. But in the process of the performance of Yajna, the Lord himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, he comes, and along with him all the the pure devotees, Lord Brahma comes, Lord Shiva comes, and all the other pure devotees, the Gandharvas. There are so many when the Lord is there, you can imagine the entire universe is there. Like, all the so and so's of the universe, they are all present there. So they all come and what do you call, honor the particular yajna that is being done. And it is described, and when this yajna is happening, because of that, the effect of this yajna that is being discussed in this particular verse we are seeing. So where the previous verse you would have heard, it says, my dear Vidura, in that great sacrifice, the entire land came to be like the milk producing Kamadhenu, and thus by the performance of the yajna, all daily necessities of life were supplied. So when he performed this yajna, then Mother Earth released all this one, and so much of abundance was created. In that context, this particular verse what we are seeing is also coming. The flowing river supplied all kinds of tastes, sweet, pungent, sour, etc. And very big trees supplied fruits and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter, and similar other necessities. So now if you have to get into this specific purport written by Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada is talking about how if the rivers are not polluted, and how if the rivers are allowed to flow in their natural course, how the entire land, sometimes the rivers may overflood. The reason is also that because it is overflooding, it is actually covering all the land. And as a result, it is actually adding that ingredients which are necessary for the life to come up, and there is so much of nutritional value which is deposited all over the land. See, now if you really think about it, today, today we are doing so many things in the sense we are trying to control the flow of the rivers, we are trying to artificially stock the water, and also divert the water where we think are fertile lands, specific lands, and then these kind of things are happening. Yeah, I'm not getting into the which is successful and all that, because there could always be so many arguments, but I'm only trying to make a point. The rivers have been flowing for trillions of years. It is not that today, last 300 years only the rivers came, and because the rivers have been flowing, the land has been there. There have been millions and trillions of life on earth, not just humans, so many other, and every species have been actually flourishing all over the universe. Nobody did any controlling of rivers and things like that. It was happening. The last 200, 300 years, man has developed, this idea that, only by this one, the entire earth can be nice. And we are trying to control, and we are saying this is how we will construct dams, we will do this, and then we will use that water the way we want. We will release it spread across the whole year. So many kinds of such thinking is there. But you should also see the other side of it, where most species are becoming endangered now compared to maybe the earlier periods. Today everything is becoming extinct because of this kind of man's mood to lord over material nature. Even though we always, including me, we always project the benefits of how we are actually making. We are saying, you see, now because we are doing this, people are living happily in a particular land. What if the land is all flooded? Today we are making people live a peaceful life. We are making animals live a peaceful life. Today the production has increased, but poverty is continuing. Where if production has increased, people should be all eating happily. You go to railway stations and you go to the bus stands, you go to the thing, people are suffering, there's no food, they are begging on the streets. So if you have increased everything, you go to Africa, there is so much of famine, there are people struggling, they are not able to, the children are all starving and they are like bones. There are so many photos of children in famine, and where is our civilization growth? So we can so call, but on the other side you see people in one side are becoming so fat that they can't even see their leg. So this much of what do you call the inequality that people are actually suffering. Majority people are suffering. If it is common statistics, right? Everywhere this 80-20 rule applies. That means 80% are commoners, 20% are the thing. Wherever you go, any business is done, 20% of the business's revenue come from the top 10 customers. Balance 80 are okay, they are also there, kind of a thing. So even in this, the wealth is concentrated in a very few people. So this is in a way actually only leading to marginalization of people, whatever so-called civilization we are doing. But leave it to nature, everything is balanced. So if there is some species which are becoming too much dominant over the others, nature has its own way of balancing that out. And therefore the larger law of nature is taken care. But here we are trying to only look at one species and trying to further and further that one species. But then within that, because of this greed and other stuff, even within that one species there is so much of divisions, and some which are more powerful are trying to take away this stuff. So it is very beautiful. See, that logic is there. Just the river is flooding. So what? Because of that, and today if you really see, we are only talking certain lands are fertile and certain lands are not. But if you really look at it, all lands are capable of being fertile. So it is our idea that which area we want to develop, we route this water to that area. And other lands are called barren lands. But it is not the case. The whole land in the earth, everything has equal potency for developing nice vegetation, nice and things. Of course, there are lands which the nature reserves as, let's say, desert or whatever. That is nature's way of deciding this land will not be used for this purpose. But the same land, we also know in history, there are deserts which became great forests and there are great forests which become deserts. This is not something that we need to do. The nature has its own plan because it is working in a coordinated way under the ultimate supreme personality of Godhead, but governed by very highly intelligent, powerful demigods. So now we want to take away power from them and say, no, who are you? I will create rain myself. You cannot. I will go and do cloud seeding. I know how to bring rain. Who is Indra to give me rain? I will do these things. Fine, it's a struggle for existence. Whoever is powerful, we are trying to do. But unfortunately, we don't realize the power of these great personalities. Like Indra, to beat him is not something that we can easily do. He can have direct darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Indra performs yajna, sometimes we make fun of Indra. Oh, Indra is such a, envious person, this, that and all that. Okay, all that can be. But these are all one or two small instances in his entire life, which is like thousands and thousands and thousands of millions of years he lives. In that there are one or two instances. But if you look at us, every day there are 10 offenses we commit against our own friends, our own relatives, our own animals. And if you devotee community, if you see amongst our various devotees, we commit every day offense, like minimum 10 we do. Now Indra in his whole life would have done 4 or 5 which we are seeing in Bhagavatam. Like last week we celebrated Govardhan Puja, where Indra, because of his arrogance that I should be worshipped. Okay, that is one instance. Like this, there could be we can read a few specific where when Krishna went to his this one and he gave his mother's earring, which was stolen by this Narakasura. So not stolen, he challenged Indra and he took it, and Indra didn't have the power to say no, you cannot take my mother's earring, and he just took it away and went. And Krishna went and took that, brought back that, fought him, killed him, and brought back that earring and gave it to him to be presented to his mother. And while coming back, Rukmani took one small flower, Parijat flower, and Krishna said, why one flower? Take this entire tree, one tree. And Indra immediately again became puffed up. Lord Brahma became, when he saw Krishna performing this Agasura, Vada and other things, he was very, wow, what is this boy? Let me check who he is. And he stole Krishna's gopas and the cows and the calves and the gopas. So these are very rare instances where they lose their sense of judgment. But how can they be like this, these people? But actually we should also see the other side. When Indra is performing a yajna, Lord Vishnu personally comes. We are also doing so many yajnas in our life. So, we can't even see the tip of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But they are such elevated personalities and they know what they are doing. We should leave it to them. Krishna says in the 4th chapter, you have to perform yajna, right? And by performance of yajna, the demigods become pleased and they offer all the facilities to all of you. And therefore, by coexistence, by cooperation between the devatas and the human beings, an opportunity is created for everyone to elevate their consciousness and ultimately able to go back to Godhead. So this is a very simple but the most powerful arrangement made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, that he sends, first I sent forth all these men and women along with all these things, and when the earth was created, all these living entities were sent to earth because they wanted to enjoy. He said, okay, you wanted to enjoy independent of me, okay, I will create the nice environment for you, you go and enjoy, but you need to do this. Like, whatever you are getting there, you offer it to me as yajna. Yajnapati is Vishnu, offer it to me. And the superintendents of my office bearers, they will say, okay, you are doing the things what I have told. And they will supply you everything. In that process, whatever enjoyment you wanted to do, you do. And slowly but steadily, that will itself put you on a track of saying that why I made a mistake of coming here. That slow gradual process, following all that in the Varnashrama system, we will come to our realization what we are doing is not right. We are thinking we will lord over material nature and we will be independent of Krishna, but in course of time I realize that is wrong. And my idea of sense gratification does not make sense. Slowly and steadily we will go back to Godhead. This is the plan given by the Lord. But we want to defy that and say, no, okay, that in course of time we have forgotten all that, and people make fun of, what is this yajna? Why are you wasting liters of milk? Why are you offering abhishek to the, stone? Those milk is wasted. In which temple a milk is wasted, you tell me? Everywhere that is taken with so much respect as Charanamrit. Every living entity is very happy to take Charanamrit of their lordships. Nowhere anything is wasted. But the envious people tend to think, oh, this is wasted, that is wasted, you give it to the poor, they are suffering. Why? The kind of parties they do and throw away food, they don't realize that poor are suffering. One plate costs 1,000 rupees. What is there? In so much of 500 items are prepared. Can one person eat 500 items? But ultimately it is all thrown away, right? Okay, they can say, some people will say, we have given it to this ashram, that ashram. No, but a lot of them wasted. People eat half-eaten and throw away. Is that actually given to the ashram or something? So many things they take in their plate because it is all available in abundance while the other people are suffering. But what is done in the of yajna, nothing is wasted. Everything is given in multiplication of thousands. So, it says, the 4th chapter it says, the demigods being pleased give you all that is necessary for you to live peacefully and happily on the earth. So here also, because the rivers are unpolluted, because we are today, if you see, there is rivers are looking like what do you call some bathtub filled with soap. Right? It is white foam all over Yamuna, Ganga, everything is. And you imagine the living entities which are living in those rivers, all the fishes and all the tortoise and so many other things. Just look at their pathetic situation. They have to be living and eating and breathing this pollution that we humans have created. Such criminal exploitation and marginalization of all living entities we are doing. But here Prabhupada is writing, if the rivers are not polluted and they are allowed to flow in their own way and allowed to flood the land, they create so much of abundance in the land by giving nutrition to the plants, and so many varieties of things which come out, right? That sweet is coming out, the sour is coming out, pungent is coming out, you name it. Everything that is required for a proper living, including nourishment of the bodies of all the other living entities, are produced by nature without battling an eyelid. We don't need to do anything big. Prabhupada used to say, why are you struggling so much for your existence? You simply perform this cultivation in the land, which is their simple cultivation. Actually that cycle is only 30 or 40 days in a year. Just 30 or 40 days in a year. If you do that, then you have grains for the whole year. Nothing more is required. So Prabhupada says, you cultivate, you grow your rice and whatever. So I will grow rice, you will grow dal. You will give me some dal, I will give you some rice. So we can make dal and rice and have some, another person will grow some wheat. So you have chapati, rice, dal. Prabhupada says that is enough. There is nothing more you need. Some devotee may make a vegetable. So it's just like that barter system, right? I am producing this, you are producing this, I give you some. And together, just 30 to 50 days in a month, whatever is the cycle. I know rice and all takes 30 to 40 days to grow. One cycle of rice, if you put in 1 acre of land for one family or 2 family or 3 family, 4 families, it is sufficient for a whole year. And if you are performing the yajna, you don't have to worry, will the rain come next year? It will certainly come, because the authorities who are supposed to give rain, the Indra and the Chandras of the world, they are obliged to give us the rain, and therefore life will go on. But we have complicated it so much. Without performing yajna, we simply think we can do everything ourselves, and in the process the whole world is suffering. So he's saying, how the trees, other than giving this, they give abundance of honey. So if you see, where are these honey coming from? We see so many, these bees, right? They just go to the flowers and pick. Can we pick this bee, the honey like that? We try to cultivate these bees and then we steal their hard work, right? But just imagine, it is all there. Unfortunate that we are not able to appreciate nature and live in line with nature, but we want to, exploit, thinking we are more intelligent and we can manage everything. Our management is leading to destruction. And it is mentioned that, and of course, ultimately, all has been given by, here Prabhupada is writing, right? Bija mam sarva bhutanam. Ultimately, it is his potency. If chilies are coming or sugarcane sweet is coming, they are completely opposite, diagonally opposite in terms of the taste and the reaction that they bring to us. But for both, the ultimate source is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is giving this level of variety, absolute opposites, just for the pleasure of his children, right? And he is saying, right, I am the father of all the living entities. And the other thing is, for him, there is nothing like, this is wasted. This is, if I have 1 crore of rupees and I give away 2 lakh of rupees, that much money is reduced. For Krishna, everything is just there in abundance and there is nothing which reduces. That is why Prabhupada is quoting this thing from Purnam Idam. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyati. There is one wonderful verse. That one says, from the completeness Purna, things come out, but even if things come out, that remains Purna. That means it remains full. So in Krishna's creation, there is nothing which is wanting. We are saying, right, oh, this lot of population, if it is created, then, it is difficult to feed. No, this is not true. Prabhupada many times says, it's not because of the population control and all these things. The souls are always souls. That soul may be an animal or it may be a human. We are only looking at everything as a human population that way. If the person is not taking as a human now, naturally the humans will reduce because they are having so much of wrong karma. So they will get into the animal kingdom. So you will have more and more animals only coming up. But ultimately the number of souls will remain, and it increasing and decreasing of the souls is based on whether they are going back to the spiritual planet or more are coming down here. That's like immigration, right? One in the material world, if more people are there, then I don't know, more people developed from the spiritual world to have this sense gratificationary mode. But that is not the case also, because Prabhupada mentions, like, in a jail, in a city, there may be 3,000 or 4,000 criminals, but the city may have 2 crore of people. So, 2 crore of people are there mainly in the city only. Of course, there are some criminals, some 3,000, 4,000, they are put under the jail. Similarly, this material world is a small portion in that entire spiritual space. It is in one small corner, it is mentioned, right, in Bhagavatam. In a small corner, Lord Vishnu laid down, and from there, all this creation started. So this is a small place, but all the souls are there in that spiritual world. Therefore, here to worry, the population will increase, decrease, that is not our problem. If you perform the yajna properly, then all the living entities in whatever forms, they will all be getting what they need, because ultimately all of these are actually souls. All these souls have come here because in their mind they thought, I want to enjoy like this. And according to our desire of wanting to enjoy, we are given a form. And we are in different forms. But ultimately, every living entity's desire is to enjoy life in the way he or she thinks. He thinks, that means the soul thinks. And therefore the body is there. So we can't say we are entitled, only the human is entitled, others are not. Others are there for my pleasure, other bodies. So I will kill the cows and I will eat for my pleasure, tongue pleasure. No. Those are also equally entitled living entities. They have been given the form of a cow, body of a cow, or a goat, or a fish, whatever it is. We have no right to infringe on their rights. Right? But we say, no, only in humans we have these rights. You cannot infringe on my rights. I cannot infringe on your rights. So this, we have put a code within ourselves and saying this is the law of, law. But nature's law includes all these animals also. We cannot create our own foolish laws and say this is what it is. So this is the Prabhupada is talking about this Purnamidam to indicate you don't worry about performing yajna, nothing is going to be wasted. Everything actually is the Lord's, and there is nothing shortage in the Lord. Neither something decreases. Therefore he is saying, therefore people should learn how to satisfy the Yajna Purusha Lord Vishnu. And then he's also talking about this, the honey and other stuff. So sum and substance of it is saying you perform this yajna. Then he is coming to this point where he is saying, thus everything is dependent on the performance of yajna. The best way to perform yajna in this age is to spread the Sankirtana movement all over the world. We will come to that topic for the next 5-10 minutes to talk. So, okay, yajna is important, we have established. But yajna means, is it always about, fire sacrifice? Yes, that is one of the most important aspects. But in each yuga the yajnas are defined differently. For the Kali Yuga, it is the Sankirtana Yajna. What is the Sankirtana Yajna? Is the chanting of the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the prescribed yajna for the Kali Yuga, and therefore it is best and actually the ultimate thing to perform Sankirtana Yajna today. Even giving higher priority to the other forms of yajna, of performing fire sacrifices. The idea is that this is the first priority for all, we can say, living entities, all humans, but all living entities, to perform this Sankirtana Yajna in Kali Yuga. So, and Prabhupada is not saying, is not simply saying you do Sankirtana Yajna. You see, if you have observed what I read in the last line, he says the best way to perform Yajna in this age is to spread the Sankirtana movement all over the world. So, we have to spread the Sankirtana Yajna. Of course, that doesn't mean he is not saying you don't do but make others do. No. He is saying you do and spread it all over the world so that everybody does Sankirtana Yajna, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And this is the lifeline of our movement, that we perform or rather preach Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada, there have been times where Prabhupada will say, like, one time on press, I was asking actually, like, you have made so many big rules and regulations in your movement, do you think anybody will be able to take it up? Like you say, don't eat meat, don't intoxicate, don't have illicit relationships, and don't the so-called speculation, or gambling we say, but all kind of speculations, sports and stuff like that, you are not supposed to do like that. So who will come and join your movement? Then Prabhupada says, yes, I know this is not easy rules and regulations. I know everybody will not be able to follow, but there are people who have come to that stage and they also need a platform in which they can congregate and do this. And he is talking about there are souls which are elevated and come to that stage, and they need a platform, and therefore I have created ISKCON. So this is one side of it. So then you may, if you simply see only that one particular conversation, you will think therefore Prabhupada is created, this is not for everyone. This is only meant for very highly elevated souls. Others, let's just do our normal, so-called, some devotional, not devotional, some ritualistic thing, we just do like this when we see one deity somewhere, and then just keep going and do all sorts of nonsense. So that is how it is. So we will come to that conclusion. Oh, this is not for me, or this is not for something for the entire world. But there are other occasions where Prabhupada said, you flood the world with these books and they will all become pure devotees. And Prabhupada also, there are people who said, Prabhupada, when Prabhupada was giving a class, he said, if you have come to Krishna consciousness, you have done everything. That means the other, you are already learnt the Vedas, the Upanishads, and you have followed all regulative principles, everything, only then you can come to the platform of Krishna consciousness. So one devotee asked, Prabhupada, you are saying like this, but to my memory, I have never, this is a foreign, in one of the Western world, Western countries. So they say, we don't even know what you are talking about, like, these the Vedas, Upanishads, nothing. Or, no, I have never done anything like that in my life, but how do you think that I am now able to come and participate in your Hare Krishna movement like this? So Prabhupada said, you have not, achieved it by yourself, it is by, I have given it to you. So, by my mercy, you have got this Krishna consciousness. So, therefore, even though one side, there are elevated souls who have come by their, whatever, maybe some blessings from the previous lives, some acharyas are blessed or whatever, but they have come there. But that doesn't mean it is meant for them. Prabhupada is saying, actually, I am now giving this mercy to all of you based on, we all know Prabhupada is a pure devotee. He is able to give that mercy to everyone, and empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I want this message to be spread all over the world. I am ordering every one of you to become guru and spread this message. And that is the mood of the Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Of course, the entire line of Acharyas, Gaurakeshwara Babaji, everyone in that mood, they were preaching. And in that way, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he told Maharaj, he told Srila Prabhupada, you do this. And Prabhupada took it as his life mission. And he wanted to go and make the entire world Krishna conscious. And this, the mood of our ISKCON, particularly under this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, the mood is that Prabhupada set the mood that, you just go and give this Krishna consciousness to everyone around the world. So we need to see, we are in this Kartik month, we should see how many souls can I touch, how many people can I go and inspire to take up Krishna consciousness, how many people can I make them participate in the Harinam Sankirtan, chant Hare Krishna, read the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, associate with the devotees and bring them under the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. So this is all very, very important. Most Prabhupada says, this is an urgent mission. This is fight against Maya, and I am empowering all of you. Whether you are qualified or not, no, you are not personally qualified, but I am here empowering all of you. You please do it. So our job should be to see how I can be a foot soldier in Prabhupada's movement, how I can preach, how I can take this movement, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is very pleased. Whatever efforts, we have no big qualification, what qualification we have to say, like, I'm such a great person, I can preach and make thousands of devotees. Maybe, not, at least I am talking for myself, I am not. But the idea is, are we trying? How much am I trying to do this? And it is about pleasing the Acharyas and pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They will do it. We are not going to change the world. We are only trying to be following their instructions. And if they choose, they can choose us to do this job. But no credit is taken away from us for trying. We just have to try, cooperate with all the devotees, see how we can make a difference, how we can do whatever we can do. And if nothing, at least our own consciousness will improve. I always tell when I'm talking to my family, I say, see, we have been maybe, so many, sometimes we feel, done so much, but nobody is taking up. Okay, that's fine. But at least we are, engaging, through this process. See, today, last 1 hour, we are sitting here, because we are preaching. Okay, they say, okay, you give a class. Oh, we are here. So 1 hour, we are trying to read something, we are trying to share something. So that consciousness about Krishna is getting into our head. And like this, as we keep engaging, if nobody becomes Krishna conscious, at least we will become slightly better than what we were some time back. So this is very important. And we need to see how we can please our spiritual master, our Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in whatever way we can, with a positive mood, cooperating with all devotees. So I end here. If there are any questions, comments, welcome. Hare Krishna. Okay, so if there are no specific comments or questions, thank you all very much. Thanks for your time. And I know I am not very knowledgeable. I could speak very wonderful things, but I tried whatever I know and what I can think of. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So we'll close this session now. Hare Krishna. Gnatra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava.